Yo, what's up, crew? Welcome back into another tutorial for building your agency. Now, I want to cover the Big 10 today. And what is the Big 10? Well, the Big 10 are kind of like the foundational pieces that I feel are needed inside of every single agency. And we'll dive into those today. So this will be a little bit longer tutorial today. So you're in it for the long haul here, but let's dive straight in today because this is going to take us a minute to get through. And the first point of the Big 10 is actually going to be establishing something called your queen bee role. And if you guys aren't familiar with this concept already, this is comes from the awesome book Clockwork. If you guys haven't read Clockwork before, I'd highly recommend it. It is a 10 out of 10 resource. Absolutely love it, especially when it comes to designing your business, building systems around your business. It is a really good starting point to building foundational structure inside of your operation, inside of your agency. Now, this is what we consider the one thing all agencies must protect inside of their agency. And I have a random QBR here that I made up, which is speed to delivery and quality control. And so the whole idea behind the queen bee role is that it is the thing that you protect at all costs, right? So when a beehive is maturing and they have a queen in place, essentially the whole idea behind the colony is that it protects its queen at all costs, right? So this is the thing that is going to make your agency tick. It's the thing that allows you guys to have the unique selling proposition, to be better than the rest of the market and your competition, right? So for me, it's going to be speed to delivery because people love speed to delivery, and then making sure that we have really good quality control of like, hey, it's not just speed that we're delivering on, it is the best deliverables possible. And this could range in a very wide variety of different niches and different services. But what is the one thing that you have to protect inside your agency at all costs to make sure you guys are continuing to grow? That is what I want you guys to think about. And it's really easy to set up. It's just a simple statement. It's something that you share with your entire team to make sure you guys are aligned on what the most important thing is inside of your business. Okay. So that's number one, the QBR. I think it's essential for every agency to have. Okay? The second thing is going to be the business endgame. And we have to understand the vision hierarchy. And if you guys aren't familiar with the book Start With Why, I've talked about this in other tutorials before, but this is a really good place to start when it comes to building out a vision for your business, having a team that's aligned with where you're wanting to go. Okay, so the first piece that we're going to cover when it comes to setting up your vision is actually the why, the reason for you guys existing. Why does your agency exist? Is it just to make money? Chances are probably not. You probably want to have impact on other businesses, on your team. You probably want to make money for a certain cause, right? There's probably something that ties into why exactly you're doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, if you're just doing it to make money, it's not a really good purpose and a good reason, and it's really hard to get a team aligned with something that is just to make more revenue. Okay. And so that's where we have to start. Why does your agency exist? If you can answer that question, it's going to help you start to build a more robust why. Now, the business end game is going to tie into this. And there's three different areas that really circle around in the business end game. The first thing is what it provides for you. Because at the end of the day, the business should provide something to you. You shouldn't always look for your team or your clients. That's something that we're going to talk about here in a second. But whatever your business end game is, well, it has to start with you, because if it doesn't fill you up, it's not going to fill up the rest of the team, right? So maybe it's, hey, we want to take home $1 million in personal income. Maybe you're huge into the car scene and you want to buy a purple Lamborghini, or maybe you just want to speak at more events, have more impact on people. Okay. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's monetary, it doesn't matter if it is more impact driven, but you should have a business end game that aligns with stuff that you specifically want from your business. What is it going to deliver to you? What is it going to provide to you? It's really important. From there, we're talking about your team as well, okay? So, hey, for them in the business end game, a career that they can grow into, okay? Alignment with your why and your vision. Maybe they have financial goals and milestones that they're trying to hit. Great, we want to know about those things, okay? Maybe it's a high five-figure, low six-figure salary. Maybe that's what they're shooting for. Awesome. That's something that we want to provide to our team, and you have to be in alignment that this is where you want to take your team, and these are the things that your team wants. And in your business end game, this is where things should start kind of molding around your team. It's going to be super crucial. And then the last piece is going to be your clients. Okay. Strong, long-lasting relationships with your clients could be part of your business end game. The best results in your industry. Top 1% clients. Maybe you guys want to work with the top 1%, the Fortune 500, 1,000 type companies that are going to pay you the big retainers, right? Or maybe we're working with types of clients that, we're landing more volume and having impact across an entire community in a specific niche, right? So make sure you guys are taking some time to actually build out your business end game. Where are you wanting to take it? Are you wanting to structure for an exit? Are you wanting to cash flow the business? There's so many different directions that we can take this, and that's really up to you to choose exactly where you want to take things. But if you don't build out the destination before you start jumping in the vehicle and trying to travel there, well, then you're just going to get lost. There's no roadmap. There's no reverse engineering into what it is that we want to actually build for our team, okay, and for yourself. So with that being said, make sure you guys spend a little time building out a business end game, okay? Why do you guys exist, and where are you trying to go? Make sure that you cover for you, for your team, and your clients. All right, moving over to number 3, some vision foundations, okay? So when we're talking vision foundations, it really is going to break down into 2 separate parts, okay? First one being the what, okay? The what is simply just talking about your services. So these are the things, the offerings that your agency specifically fulfills on, okay? And how does it tie back into your why, okay? So, for us, maybe it's like we deliver consistent quality content through our creative strategies and systems. By doing this, we impact entrepreneurs, their families, or their employees, their families, and we quantify impact in terms of creating more time freedom, monetary gain, and recognition, okay? That could be specifically what you do in order to fulfill your why. Okay, so having a what, like, hey, what services are we actually going to provide that are going to tie back to our why? And the second part of the vision foundation is going to be the how. This is what we consider like the blocking and tackling, the tactics that actually allow you to fulfill on your services. So this might be something along the lines of we create engaging organic content through unmatched quality post-production, copywriting, effective posting schedules. We consistently communicate with our clients to make them feel heard and understood. And we organize a community of like-minded entrepreneurs that can collaborate and actually build together. So this might be the start of some of the foundations of your vision and things that you want to share with your team, right? This is what gets alignment with your team, because chances are they're going to align with something similar. So think about the what, the how specifically, and how it relates to your vision, what you're going to deliver, and how you're actually going to deliver it. Once you can answer those questions, your vision is going to start to take more shape. Now, that moves us into step number 4, which is going to be something that we call our W4. This is kind of like the identity of your business, of your agency, and I love the W4. And the first one is going to be, who are we? Okay, and when it comes to who we actually are as a business, what can you be the market leader in? This is a question that we often do not answer when it comes to finding our niche or kind of finding the segment in the market that we can continue to take real estate in. So who can you be the market leader in? Who specifically are you serving? And you guys know by now that this should be something that you make niche. And what is the goal of the people you serve? Okay. And so the statement around this might be something along the lines of, blank is the market leader. So whatever your business name is the market leader in content curation for 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs that have an underdog story. Okay. So that might be your who we are statement. From there, we move into what do we do well? What would your client say that you do well for them? What does your client get in return for working with you? Are they getting monetary value, right? Would your client willingly recommend you to someone else? Okay, and we distill this also down into a statement. So what do we do well? Well, our agency partners with committed founders to drive growth through implementing proven creative frameworks that unlock more impressions, engagement, and clicks. So once again, this starts to build out statements, and these statements can be utilized in so many forms, right? It could be used in pitch decks, it could be used in your website, in any sales material that you have, right? It starts to bring a little bit of life to your agency. All right, and then the third piece of the W4 is going to be, what proof do we have? So who has your agency actually helped? Can you actually quantify those numbers, right? The more specific we can get on quantifiable results, the more likely someone is going to join our service, okay? How many clients have you done it for? What types of results can people expect? So maybe it's something along the lines of, hey, we've helped 5+ founders. If you're a relatively small agency, you got to play to the numbers that you do have. But, hey, we've helped 5+ founders grow successfully through our proven creative frameworks and provide a 50% lift in growth and following and engagement, right? That would be a really hard-hitting statement. Now, of course, we want to grow that number like 5+ founders. It's not a whole lot, to be transparent, but hey, we work with what we got. And then from there, the last one here is, why do people want it? And this statement is skipped over so much. Why would people even want to sign up for something that is going to provide them value, right? Because everyone provides value, but like, why specifically would people want your service over someone else's? Well, what does a prospect get with working with you, okay, that they won't get anywhere else? Why should people work with you over a competitor? And are you confident in the results to tell prospects why they should have it? And for us, this might distill down into a statement like this: founders find confidence in working together because we've created a systematic approach that has not only worked for ourselves, but for other ambitious founders. Okay? That's a really good statement. And so for us, this W4, we utilize this in marketing materials, we utilize this in sales materials. It gets put up on our website of, hey, who are we? What do we do? And what proof do we have? And why would someone even want to sign up for this? Okay. When you learn those statements, you talk about your services more intelligently. You're going to have better pitches. You're going to land more clients because you understand the psychology behind it and why exactly people even want to show up and jump into one of your services. Okay. So set up your W4. That's the fourth piece of the Big 10. Now, moving into number 5 of the Big 10, core values. Okay. Now, core values are what we believe. Okay. They're not meant to just be a poster to hang on a wall. We breathe these every single day. They guide us in decision making. That's the whole point of core values. Core values aren't just something that we, post up on a wall somewhere. Okay. So build it from a list. And I created a list here for you guys. You could pull from this list, go through, highlight some ones that you like, cross out ones you don't like. Okay. But you should have some core values. And how do those values that you highlight above align with the execution and expectations of your service? So from there, we have to just narrow it down. So pick a couple, narrow it down, okay, to the ideally 4. I don't like more than 4 when it comes to core values. So maybe it's growth, relationships, personal happiness, and profit. Those are some of my favorite ones. And then just add a little tagline to it to bring those core values to life, okay? So growth, we strive for a new level of achievement. Relationships, we genuinely care. Personal happiness, we're here because we want to be. And profit, we think making money is great. And the whole point of these core values is that we actually use them in our business. We use these inside of our meeting structures. We give shout outs based off of the core values. So say Adam, for example, goes above and beyond for a client. Well, for us, that would be relationships. We genuinely care about our clients, and that's going above and beyond. And so that would reflect our relationships core value. So we would want to relate that to Adam and be like, hey man, you upheld our relationships core value, and I just wanted to give you a shout out for that, right? So that's how we can utilize our core values internally. It also gives us the knowledge to also say, like, the clients that we work with, the clients that we don't work with. If you have a client that doesn't align with your core values that you have been working with, well, chances are we shouldn't work with that client anymore, right? So these core values, they just help you with decision-making process, who you hire, who you fire, promotions, right? All of that gets distilled into core values. Now, number 6 is going to be called Must Conquer Dailies. Now, this is one that I learned from my good buddy, Judge Graham. What activities must you do daily to keep a rhythm of consistency? So for us, these are our 3 here. We review our impact list daily, which I'll talk about here in a minute, hold our daily check-ins, and then do our end-of-day reports. Those are the 3, okay? Typically, we only have 3 to 4 of these on our Must Conquer Dailies, but what are the critical things that your team has to do on a daily basis in order to see continued results? Okay, could be something similar to this. You might have different ones that you want to install with your team, but having a list of Must Conquer Dailies of hey guys, these are the things we have to do every day to have success. Okay, it's rhythmic, it's systematic. Okay, if we do these things, we are going to win. It's really good to point those out. That way, you can keep your team in alignment with those. Now, let's move over to number 7 here, okay? Impact items. Now, these are called so many different things. You call them OKRs, you can call them rocks, basically primary objectives, okay? You need your team to do these and accomplish over the next 30 days. We try to work in these small sprints. For us, we work in 30-day sprints. I don't really like to build out projects outside of 30 days. Maybe if you're a little bit larger agency, you'll have projects that extend out for the quarter. But for us, we try to work in 30-day sprints. What can we get accomplished in the next 30 days? Okay. Now, we have 4 rules for impact items. 1, they must be set and reviewed every 30 days. It's very rhythmic. We do this every 30 days. We do not miss at all. Okay. Number 2 is impact items reflect on being able to do 3 things: generate revenue, retain revenue, or expand revenue. If you're not sure what that exactly means, generate new revenue into the business. Yeah. Retain the current revenue that you have. So talking about retention and lifetime value. And then the third one being expand revenue, okay? That one's speaking more on lifetime value of how can we cross-sell certain services with other clients, right? So can we take a client that's on paid ads and also have creative stacked in after they've worked with us on paid ads, right? Their retainer goes from maybe $5K a month to $10K a month, Okay, that would be expansion of revenue. So we always try to reflect our impact items specifically on generating, retaining, and expanding revenue. Now, each impact item should have an owner, should be assigned to someone that will report on the result at the end of the 30 days. And then number 4 here, each impact item should have a due date. Okay, got to make it timely, right? SMART goals. Okay, that last one being timely. And then the most ineffective months are still successful if you just get a few of these impact items done. That's why we set them, because if we get the things that actually move the needle, the things that will actually help us grow the business done, well, then we're going to have a successful month. Okay, cool, but how, right? So we do this with operational lanes, and I've talked about this before in a few other videos, but there's really 5 operational lanes that you have to be knowledgeable about to run an effective agency. Okay, first one being lead gen, your ability to attract new clients into your business. Okay, you got to be able to do that. 2 is sales. Okay, your sales operations are important, because if you're getting all these leads and you're not closing any, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, third one being fulfillment. So after you close those deals, well, you got to be able to fulfill at a high level. You got to be able to deliver the results you say you can, and you got to be able to retain clients. If you can't do that, then at the end of the day, you're going to have a stagnant business. Okay, last one being finance. So, with finance, there's so many moving parts of the agency as it is, but if you're not profitable, it doesn't matter. At least in my opinion. Some people don't run profitable agencies, and I'm sure they're extremely stressed, but at the end of the day, want to make sure the financial side of the business is in check. And then the last part, human resources. As you grow, as you scale, you're going to notice that your biggest bottleneck in business is going to be people. It's going to be finding the right talent, putting the A players in the right seats. So chances are you're going to have some things in human resources on your impact list, because that's going to be the bottleneck for your growth in the future. Okay, so that's how we think about setting impact items, and we go specifically in each lane: lead gen, sales, fulfillment, finance, resources, or human resources. And we go through and we make sure that we set impact items for each of those lanes. Now, some months, we don't need a ton of human resources, right? We're not hiring a ton of people that month because we're trying to fill capacity, okay? But, we try to set items in every single one of these departments, okay? Now, this is what it might look like. Now, these are pretty basic impact items, but if you were just to get started, maybe, for yourself, it'd be setting up a Twitter and LinkedIn profile. Well, Josh, how does that refer back to revenue? Well, if you're going to start to be a market leader in something, you should probably be posting some content somewhere. So, hey, let's get the profile set up and let's start following and engaging with 10 people inside of our ideal client profiles every single day. Okay. And those are 2 examples of impact items. Those would help you generate more revenue if people were to come to you and say, hey, I want to learn more about your services. Okay. Because organic channels are a great place to get new leads. Okay, from there, we talk about sales. So building demo decks, getting the website developed, building your first offer, all are going to be things inside of impact items that refer back to generating revenue. Okay, if you don't have an offer, you can't generate any revenue. Okay, now website is one of those ones that I put that in there because some people believe you need a website, some people don't. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but maybe that's something you feel is really crucial for you to generate more revenue into the business. Okay. On the fulfillment side, develop an internal CRM. Okay. Well, if you're getting all these leads, you got to have some sort of CRM to manage all of them. Okay. Maybe creating naming conventions for your content storage. That's what we consider a maintenance item. And, for us, yes, we want to do revenue generating activities, but also in fulfillment, if you're doing content creation, you got to have organization, right? And it does tie to being able to create systems for your business to help you keep clients, but it's more of a maintenance item. It doesn't necessarily generate revenue to create naming conventions for your content storage. But it might be really important for you to keep clients long term and to create some SOPs around how you guys, essentially have naming conventions for content. Okay. Now, from there, on the financial side, maybe you have to set up your LLC or set up your profit first bank accounts. Okay? There's a lot in the financial side that could happen as well. And, you'll have financial tasks that need to get done. Maybe those are more maintenance side as well. And then lastly, we have human resources. Hey, we're a new business. We don't really need to hire anyone currently. So maybe we'll make some trainings for some of our future employees that we bring on. So that kind of explains impact items. And the whole goal behind these impact items is, once again, a majority of them should be revenue producing. We call those production tasks, right? Production tasks are simply things that will drive revenue into the business. And of course, we'll have maintenance items as well. Those are things that just help us maintain the business, some of the internal operations, making sure that everything works appropriately. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to generate revenue, but it makes us more streamlined. It makes us more effective and efficient. Okay, so that is step number 7. Moving into step number 8, we're almost there, guys, I promise. Okay, the quarterly radar items. Okay, we also call these parking lot items, but basically these are things that are great ideas. They're things that probably need to get done in the business at some point in time, but you can't necessarily do them all in the next 30 days. Okay, so maybe it's starting cold outreach, set up your payment processor, get contracts in order, build an onboarding process. Well, we got to do some things before we start that, right? We need a client before we probably build an onboarding process, just to trial it out, test it out, see how it actually works. Okay, if you sit in stagnation this whole time, you're never going to generate revenue. You're never going to sign your clients if you're just constantly preparing for clients to come on. Sign the client, build it as you go. Okay, but maybe some of these items are 60 days out, 90 days out. We just put them in a parking lot, put them in a radar list for the time being, and then build on them later. And then number 9 is going to be the quarterly theme. Okay, why should you set a theme for your organization? Well, it kind of serves as a sub-focus outside of the other objectives for the quarter. It helps the team understand the type of energy that they need to bring in that specific environment. So maybe the quarterly theme for this month is simple, focused, and excellence. Yeah, really distills down that type of energy that they need to bring over the next 90 days. Okay, it's the attitude. It is the focus over the next 90 days. So we're going to have simplicity, we're going to be focused, and we're going to bring excellence every single day. Okay. And you can change these themes out whenever you want. You can do them every 30 days. I like to do them every 90 days. So every quarter, we kind of have a main focus. Maybe it's, mass lead gen, right? Something along those lines where we're just putting all of our focus into lead gen, pumping leads in. Okay? And then we might have like a maintenance theme where it's like, hey, stability and balance, right? These quarterly themes just give you the pace for the quarter over the next 90 days. Okay. And the last one, number 10, projections. Okay. Just set some projections for yourself, you guys. Okay. What do you think you can do? Okay. Now, when it comes to projections, I'm not going to go into the depths of projections because this is a whole nother video in itself, but projections at this point in the agency are much different than what I would consider like an established agency. So if you're just getting started, just set some goals for yourself. That's really what they are. They're pie in the sky goals. What do you want to hit? Maybe it's your first 10K a month. Okay, put it on a board, look at it every day. But when it comes to actual projections, there's a difference between goals and projections. Goals are like what we wish or what we hope to hit. Projections are, this is what we're hitting. Guaranteed, hands down, based off of the data that we're collecting. Now, once again, totally different training at that point, but I will get to that at some point in time, and I'll create a whole nother video on projections for the more established agency. But throw some projections on a board. What do you want to hit this month? Go after it. Be a little lofty. And that wraps up the Big 10. These are the Big 10 that I think that every agency should have installed into their business, and it can really easily be distilled down if you utilize this template called the one-page impact plan. Now, this is what we install into all of our agencies. You install your Big 10 inside of something called the one-page impact plan. If you've ever followed like Traction before, it's very similar to like EOS, but great. There's places for everything that we just talked about, right? Our quarterly theme sits at the top. Our QBR sits at the top. We have our business endgame in alignment. There's places to store your business endgame, your vision, your core values, your must-conquer dailies, your W4, your impact items for the month, okay, and your quarterly and yearly projections, right? So we utilize this one-page impact plan, and you could build this in Miro. You can even draw it on a whiteboard. You put it on a piece of paper, wherever you want to put it. Print it out, tape it to your desk. This is what we're following for the month, every single month, and we refresh this one-page impact plan every single month. It is so rhythmic, and when you guys have a rhythmic business, when things are working like clockwork, then you're going to grow, and you're going to grow quickly because you guys have a formula, you have a system. And the whole point of this one-page impact plan is that you guys have a rhythm to the business. You're constantly making strides for things that generate and produce revenue for the business, and you're not staying stagnant. Okay, we see it all the time that agencies do not have a plan of action when it comes to building, growing, and scaling their business. And if you guys put just a little bit of strategy, a little bit of groundwork in every single month, you'll make those strides. So go in, download the one-page impact plan. I'll provide it in the Miro board for you guys. There's a blank template here, and work on these things. These are crucial for any business, especially as they're getting started, to have a plan of attack, because at the end of the day, you cannot get to the destination if you don't know where the destination is. Okay? So work on the destination, work on your business one-page impact plan. It will change your business entirely. Hopefully that's helpful. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.